Unbound Volume 1. And yeah, it is full of beautiful images of New Zealand. No one captures it better. As we get set for semi-final number 2 here, Yago is taking on Italo. Not to be scoffed at, had a quarterfinal in WA, but a 17th on the Gold Coast, which has kept him back a little bit. But he is back in event-winning form, of course. And this guy, some big moments for him this year. A semi-final in WA. Other than that, though, a couple of ninths. This ride just has felt a little sticky off the top from the outside. And as a result, Italo's going to kick out of it.
Let's have a look at the replay here. So down the line, Yago was looking at it, but on the inside, Italo takes off. The opening carve was pretty good. Check turn here, just hits the brakes, sets up that second turn, but got stuck. And then the third turn down the line as well. A little sticky there as the wave just fills up. And Italo just...
Well, what about this one during the interview, Rich?
So creative, isn't he? It's almost artistry. He just keeps bringing us these unique moments. This is the first barrel that we've seen. We heard about him, and Yago's found it. And does some really nice work here to just get on a steady pace. Waits for the wave to build up again, and I like this next carve coming up here. He starts to really dig in, lay into that rail. There it is. Just accelerating through that turn. So a couple of moments on that ride will get the judges excited. This is the first significant number that we're going to see in the heat.
Italo says, yes, thanks. This one looks good. Out onto the open face, cuts back onto the foam. Will this one steepen and offer that scoring opportunity through the inside? Looks like it will. Nice whip in the pocket there as he drives back into the bowl for a second solid combo. And now swinging the board on the inside, but he's going to lose his footing.
Attack mode, but it almost appears like he'd kind of backed off the gears a little bit here. You see him coming through this section. Nice carving cutback with the rebound. Fades, waits for the wall to start lining up in front of him. And it does. Now he gets to work. A clean snap to drift. Off the bottom, off the top. Little layback hack, so good variety at this point. And it was almost like he didn't get enough projection out of that little lip. He was maybe in two minds when he came up to that section. Just looked somewhat tentative, and it's maybe just taken a little bit of that speed and pop when he's hit the lip. So let's have a look at it here. Yeah, you can see that the foot just slips right up to the nose of the board. He never really got that disconnect from showing a bit of interest on one of these inside runners. He's going to get to work.
And these waves have worked out for competitors at times throughout the contest. Smaller wave, but it's a lot steeper than his last through these opening sections. And he throws the board out of the pocket once again, loses contact. That Italo already had his keeper scores, and he went for a number of turns like that same move, and he didn't stick any of them. He kind of had a sloppy finish to that quarterfinal heat. Hasn't really regained that composure. Meanwhile, Yago looking to back up that 6.33. Just keeps the rails wet in the opening stages. Really deep carves, nice little kick on the tail there, gets some release. Stunning afternoon down here at the Corona Cero New Zealand Pro, presented by Bonsoy. And Yago, even though that didn't have the kind of...
Something to admire. Let's have a look at the replay here. Comes around this opening section. Just to cut back, a repositioning manoeuvre. And again, just getting himself in the slot for this one here. Lays on this hillside rail. The back arm comes across the chest. He compresses at the bottom. Drives straight into that next turn. But while it might lack that off-the-top excitement, you have to appreciate the rail work and the power in those turns. And showing some nice variety towards the end of the wave with the layback snap as well.
A great start to the year too with the surfers that he's been coaching. Here goes Yago again, under priority now. And you could see him loading up. You know what he's thinking. I want to improve on the 6.33 to give myself a better shot. It's lining up nicely on the ledge here at Manu Bay. Chasing a 7. Italo just cuts back, wanting to set up this steeper section of the wave on the outside, get a combination together. Nice little kick on the tail, explodes out the lip, swings the reverse, gets the completion, back out in front, still holding a lot of speed. Starts to combo these turns up pretty nicely now. It's a high impact landing, but he recovers in time to get a final hit in. and hangs on just in case this thing runs through to the inside. He calls for the ski. Pretty impressive stuff. Timmy Patterson, NZ, a board shaped by Simon Jones, who's based up in Papamoa on the east coast near Mount Maunganui. And this board's looked really fresh under his feet. Simon Jones has pumped out a beauty here.
Yeah, he certainly has. How quick was that little zigzag snap? Streaks down the line, gets the big projection, air rev again, and then throws it up as the wave comes crashing down. Italo is back on fire here. Showing innovation. That's the thing I think about with this wave, Ronnie. He's really mixing it up. You see the little shuffle to get him back into that zone where he does that clean little snap. Gets a little moment of release, sees that lip coming down again and goes, yep, I'll take that launch pad. Projects out in front of the wave. This will be a great angle here. You can see the rotation in the air. Yago getting himself in position.
Yago's been so fantastic at responding when his back is against the wall, and we'll see what he can throw down here. Rips a huge carve off the top, leans on his power. 2 times, that's a monster combination. Super clean stuff. He swings the tail, but I'm tuned in here at the moment watching this huge heat. Let's have a look at what Yago did on the outside. Massive combination, Rich.
Gosh, I love that carve from behind the section. Clicks with it there. That was massive. And then just here,
he was on his way to the number he needed. And Italo now has the momentum and has the lead. Looking to improve on a 5.33. Nice steep section here. Flexes on the tail, nice little kick, and really explodes into a rotation there off the lip. Unbelievable, the control as he rode down backwards. And getting that yellow jersey before heading over to stop number 5 in El Salvador. He'll take on Morgan Siblick in the final of the Corona Cero New Zealand Pro, presented by Bonsoy. There are the numbers. Yago won that opening exchange, but Italo, he held his nerve, took to the sky as he so often does, and got a pair of 7s to get the job done over last year's world champion.
Italo, congratulations. You are into the final of the Corona Cero New Zealand Open, presented by Bonsoy. This is the result that you've been driving towards, mate.
Dude, I'm so fighting. I'm like, oh, I'm going to do it. Let's do it. I was like so stoked. And I was like, okay. And then I fall in the first waves, and I was like, no, it's my chance. Let's try again. And then I was like, okay, breathe, and then start, and I was like, okay, let's do it. Let's play the game. And I had like a couple nice rolls, and before they started hit, I had a sick one. I was like, oh, that was like 10 seconds before. But I'm so stoked to make that happen, make the first final of the year, and try to win this event that I'm looking for, because it's a really great left so that you can put everything on that. So I hope that I can find some good walls and try some crazy moves, yeah.
Mate, we look forward to seeing that. Not your average heat, of course, but you were able to adapt, find the opportunities that you needed. I don't think anybody has caught more waves than you in the last 10 days than, here at Manu Bay. I mean, you have literally camped out here on this point and got so many different conditions. How is that going to serve you going into this final?
I'm enjoying the only left that we have on tour, because Chopo is a big closeout, and Pipeline it's crazy too. I have Fiji, but it's all the way down. But I'm trying to enjoy every moment here, catching like every single wave, and I hope in the final we can find some good walls and try to do some crazy combinations, yeah.
Fantastic, mate. Congratulations. All the best in the final.
Thank you. Let's go. You.